Okay, we told you just a few minutes ago about Apple's banner third quarter. The shares are higher this morning, up by about 1.6% right now. Joining us to talk more about it is Wamsi Mohan, who is Bank of America Securities senior equity research analyst. In a new note this morning, he is maintaining his buy rating on the stock. He's raising his price objective to $240 from $235. The stock right now is at $211. Wamsi, what did you see last night? What made you raise your price objective?
Yeah, good morning, Becky. Thanks for having me. Look, we got some really good results from Apple overnight. They beat on revenue, they beat on iPhones, they beat on services growth, they beat on gross margins. So you can't ask for a whole lot more in terms of the quarter itself. And then from a guidance standpoint, despite absorbing higher tariffs, they were able to guide ahead of the street, particularly on gross margins, which is where I think the bulk of the concern was that they wouldn't be able to do that. Now, they didn't incorporate everything that can happen from a tariff standpoint. Obviously, Section 232 ruling is still kind of pending out there. So it means that there is some risk. But the company itself is navigating that, trying to address and take near-term actions to make sure that they're well prepared in case they do get impacted negatively from a tariff standpoint. So our estimates went up about 3% for the next couple of years, and we raised our price objective accordingly.
You said there's also some risk from Google, that imminent ruling on the DOJ. How do you game that out?
Sorry, Becky, your audio didn't come through for me. So
okay,
do you mind
Wamsi, I'm sorry. Just talking about the Google risk, you say that's still imminent. How do you game that out?
Yeah, that's a complicated question, really, because, look, when you look at the Google TAC, obviously it's a material part of Apple's overall profitability, call it about 10% or so in aggregate terms. Now, when you think about what the judge might say, and this is outstanding still and likely to be appealed, there could be an instance where the judge says that Google cannot pay to be default search on Apple devices anymore. If that happens, it doesn't really mean that the $20 billion that they get goes to zero. The way to think about it is, what are the options? Are we going to get a choice screen instead? If we get a choice screen, how much of that traffic does go back to Google? And so Apple and Google would have to renegotiate this agreement, in which case the financial impact of this actually might not be a whole lot. And frankly, I don't think it's that imminent in terms of the financial impact. I think that filters in over time, and it gives Apple some time to look at alternative options as well. So we think that it is a risk more to the multiple than to the earnings at the moment. Obviously, the decision is going to be somewhat imminent within the month of August is what is expected. So it does put a little bit of a lid on near-term upside from that perspective.
Wamsi, I just quickly read through the note. Maybe I missed it. I didn't see any reference to AI, but that's one of the huge questions that investors are kind of focused on. What is Apple's AI strategy? Do you believe in it?
Yeah, so we think that Apple ultimately will be a winner at AI at the edge. Now, they said on the call, I think, to investors essentially that, look, we're significantly increasing the amount of investment that we're making. Now, when you look at the numbers, they are repurposing folks that were deployed in other areas back into sort of the AI initiatives, whether it be enhanced Siri development, whether it be Apple Intelligence. And so there is a redeployment and shift of resources. So we wouldn't immediately see it as significantly higher OPEX. They don't have the same CapEx strategy as all these other mega cap names do, right? Like, I mean, their LTM CapEx is $9 billion. That's nothing compared to what these mega caps are spending. So clearly their whole business model is going to be predicated more about leveraging other people's AI models through their device and distribution mechanisms. But you could see in the future, maybe they would have some kind of agreement with some of the LLMs to go back and include those as part of a curated version of these running that is specifically targeted towards on-device benefits, right? Whether it's just contacts, photos, emails, being able to reply quickly to text, being able to do a few more things. I think all of those put together is what Apple is trying to do to make your device and productivity better, rather than some overarching, like, super intelligence that a lot of other mega caps are trying to do. So it's a very different, very focused model. I would say similar to kind of search, where they didn't own the search IP, but they monetized it very effectively.